CREDAI team, I would like to call up on stage Mr. P. Kruthivas, Executive Committee Member, CREDAI, Chennai. To receive this felicitation on behalf of CREDAI, Chennai, I would request Mr. P. Kruthivas, the Executive Committee Member of CREDAI, Chennai. I would request Mr. Abdul Rahman, the Secretary South Zone of the CREDAI Youth Wing, to please join us here on stage. I would request Mr. Varghese John, the CEO of CREDAI Chennai, to please join us here on stage. Team Chennai has given immense support for the super success of Mahakon 2025. The next name that I would like to call upon is Mr. Guna Shekharan C, the sales head of Mahindra World City. We'll take the felicitation later. Thank you. Moving on, next is a very, very informative session, and the name of the session is Less Artificial and More Human, taking control of AI in architecture and planning. And the speaker for this session is Mr. Ajay Sethi, MD, Urbanarc. नए टेक्नोलॉजी का नाम है AI, यानी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस। AI आज की तारीख में हम सभी जानते हैं हर फील्ड में पाया जाता है, फिर इसमें आर्किटेक्चर और प्लानिंग भला पीछे कैसे रह सकता है? While using this AI, one question that definitely comes to everyone's mind is how does human involvement and creativity remains at the top while we still use the AI's new technology? To shed light on this topic, we have our keynote speaker for the day, Mr. Ajay Sethi, the MD for Urbanarc. Let me take this wonderful opportunity to introduce to all of you Mr. Ajay Sethi, an architect with 30 years of experience in hospitality and residential design. May I now request Mr. Ajay Sethi to please join us here on stage. With a huge round of applause, let us invite Mr. Ajay Sethi, the speaker of the next session. He established the Urbanarc in 2010 in Singapore. This firm is an international design consultancy offering integrated services in planning, architecture, and interior designing. I now hand over the session to the speaker of this session, Mr. Ajay Sethi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Fantastic to have you all in Mahabalipuram. Want to come? I am Ajay Sethi, Managing Principal for Urbanarc in India. We are an architecture and design firm set up in Singapore, and I manage the India office here in Chennai. Before we start, I'd like to thank Pramodji and CREDAI Maharashtra for reaching out and sowing the seeds for today's talk. Over the last few years, there has been a lot of talk about AI, and it's interesting to see where we are headed towards in the future. Today, let's take a look at how design firms across the world are using AI in their studios. But first, what is AI? AI is all about teaching machines to do human-like tasks, like processing data or creating content. Most AI today is based on machine learning, where systems learn to analyze data, recognize patterns, and improve over time. Deep learning takes us a step forward by using neural networks like our brain to process and understand complex data such as images and text. And generative AI goes a step beyond by creating original content like art or music or videos. This is the software that guides the new inventions like ChatGPT, DALL-E, or Midjourney. But as we all know, AI has no intuition or emotion. It purely runs on the data that we provide and the instructions that we provide. While AI may be new to the construction field, it's been around for a while, changing the world for decades. In 1918, with the invention of the Enigma machine and the efforts to break the code of the Enigma machine is often considered the defining moment of AI. By the 1970s, it was helping us predict weather patterns. Now, as you're aware, in Chennai and Mahabalipuram, we are often faced with cyclones during the monsoon season. But everyone in Chennai is now an expert with tools like windy.com that use AI for weather nowcasting. When we head out to office, we know whether we should go out with an umbrella and in our car, or if we should wear a life jacket and take a boat, as a lot of you would have seen on national TV many times. In 1996, IBM's Deep Blue computer beat world chess champion Garry Kasparov in a chess matchup. Do you think today's computers will be able to beat Gukesh Domaraju, our new world chess champion? I hope not. In 2015, we saw the birth of generative AI software such as Midjourney and DALL-E. And in 2022, ChatGPT entered our lives. Generative AI is a subset of AI where the programs are trained on models to be able to create art, music, text, audio, video. And this technology is evolving at a rapid pace. In fact, working with generative AI is like playing with Matryoshka dolls. But instead of uncovering identical dolls, we are adding something entirely new with each layer, expanding the boundaries of design and creativity. At UrbanArc, we've only just begun to explore what is possible. And as architects, we must shape this technology layer by layer towards a future that is less artificial and more human. Generative AI has been the game changer that brought AI into the mainstream. Now with simple text language commands, you can create images, videos, even deep fakes, as many of you would have seen. So the potential of AI is huge, but responsibility is key. As creatives, we can use AI to streamline our work, but we should not allow it to take over. We should use AI as a partner, a tool that helps spark ideas, refine our creations, guide our process. This is the balance that will keep human creativity at the key. In 2024, an AI bot named Ida made a painting that sold at Sotheby's for over $1 million. This is the AI bot, Ida. Now, who is the real artist here? Is it Ida? Or is it the human creators of Ida who trained Ida on a vast creation of, or a vast data bank of human artists and their creations? Is it a product of human intelligence or artificial intelligence? And how do we make it more human and less artificial? I feel we creatives hold the key in these fields, for we are both the curators and the creators. But our creations are only as good as our original understanding and concepts. For the same tools in different hands will produce different results. In 1917, Duchamp put up an ordinary urinal as an exhibit. He argued that any object could be a work of art if the artist says it is. Now in AI-driven architecture, much like in art, we must focus on substance over spectacle. As architects, we must go beyond the hype to deliver meaningful spaces. Image generators are a subset of generative AI where we can now create images with simple text commands. For example, if I was to describe a scene with the words, imagine a white contemporary house with a nice swimming pool set in a tropical garden, a sunny day with 2 dogs playing in the garden. Software such as Midjourney will try and create an image that comes close to this prompt. The better defined the prompt, the better the image. But you see here the problem with AI. The dogs have superpowers here. One is flying and the other one is walking on water. So AI is not perfect yet. But with a little bit of patience and tweaking, we can get better images. Here I changed the prompt from a sunny day to a night view and playing dogs to sleeping dogs. And all of a sudden, the image is a lot better. You can see that the image captures a fair amount of detail in the interiors. You can see the lighting, the reflection in the water. I changed the command once again, and I asked for an aerial view. And tools like Midjourney are able to respond to my prompt and generate a sort of aerial view. But some of you may have noticed that this is not the same house in each iteration. If I put the three images together, you'll notice that while these softwares try to accommodate the change in the prompt, it creates a different house each time. Because this AI is not yet trained on 3D. It is trained purely on 2D images, so it does not understand the three-dimensionality of a house at the moment. Most of what we see in generative AI today is good for design ideation. It's good for mood boards. It's good for marketing purpose. And many clients may be seduced by images like this. But are these practical? Can we build what we see in these images? To reverse engineer what we see to execute these ideas is like driving a car backwards. It looks good only in the movies. So expect a lot of design hacks to sell you dreams with no tools thereafter to build these dreams. Here is another example of the power of AI. Tools like LookX can take abstract concepts such as crumpled paper and make architectural models. The one on the left modeled after Zaha Hadid and the one on the right modeled after Frank Gehry. This is all the more interesting because Gehry once had this remarkable story to narrate. Once while working on a design concept for a new building, Gehry was struggling to come up with something and he crumpled the piece of paper that he was working on and threw it on the ground. Only for that crumpled piece of paper to then be the inspiration for his new building. So you see crumpled paper in real life. We saw in the previous examples that generative AI can produce seductive images, but these are not always practical to build. Recognizing this limitation, this team of architects created a custom suite of AI tools to design and generate construction drawings to build this hotel in Shenzhen in just 8 months. Super fast, efficient, buildable, but it looks like a hotel designed by robots for robots. Just having the AI tools alone is not a guarantee for success. That guarantee to build something livable, warm, and inviting comes from us humans and our power of imagination. In another example, we see this modern building on the right-hand side, inspired by stepwells as seen on the left-hand side. Stepwells were done for a reason, to gracefully navigate from the upper levels to the lower levels. Now somebody will build a building like this just for visual drama, with no thought of the underlying function. Contrast this to the India Heritage Center in Singapore, which our firm did, and some of you might have seen. Unlike a typical inward-facing museum, this building draws its visitors to galleries, from where you can slowly make your way down to the lower galleries via the stepped facade, engaging with your surrounding as you do. In the day, the facade also reflects its surroundings, tying the past and the present. So this is a way to intelligently craft a new solution. Creative problem solving with the one tool that we already have, which is our mind. Now, with all this technology available at our disposal, how do we take control of AI in the design process? How do we move beyond flashy, image-driven outputs towards a workflow that can enhance creativity? It can help solve real-world problems. It's not just about using AI, it's about using AI thoughtfully. How can we focus on a human-centered approach to leverage the power of AI? In our design practice, a strong idea is often at the heart of the process. Architecture, unlike art or photography, is not two-dimensional. And a layout drawing on paper is but a fragment of what lies in our imagination. And the true magic is revealed only when it is built. As architects, it's our job to bring these ideas to life. Let's take a look at a few examples. In the design of this beach bar for the Alila Seminyak Hotel in Bali, we wanted to disappear the roof and the floor to make it almost floating. So if you see the design of the columns almost disappear. That floating effect that you see is because we stayed true to our design intent. In the design of this mosque for a staff housing campus in the Maldives, we wanted to create a universal place of worship. Now, since most religions look up to the sky, we took out the dome here so that you could connect with the largest of domes, the sky itself. Again, an idea that decides the space. Apartments in Vietnam. Here we wanted to create sky villas because the owners in these areas are used to living in suburban houses with gardens and swimming pools. Here in the middle of the city, we gave them apartments, each with its own space to grow a tree and a swimming pool. We also borrowed from our hospitality experience and we designed the toilets and the bathtub in such a way that you could have great views of the city, but from behind a facade screen. And lastly, in the design and detailing of this interiors for a resort villa in the Maldives, we wanted to take inspiration from our surroundings. The understated interiors that you see allow us to hero the water that surrounds these villas. Now, in the last few examples, you saw how a strong idea can help shape the project. But how do we use AI as a tool to enhance and guide this process? Now, a typical creative workflow at the start of any project includes tasks like ideation, communication, iterative design, knowledge sharing, and visualization. AI can help us with each of these tasks, but it must always stay a tool. We must never let AI take over. Architect B.V. Doshi must have had a premonition when he said, our tools cannot become our masters and should not rule our lives. Again, less artificial, more human. Let's take a deep dive and see how firms around the world are using AI tools in the design development process. Let's start with ideation. We saw that tools like Midjourney work very well during the early concept stages because they can help us create images with simple text prompts. The more detailed and descriptive our text prompts, the better the images. But as architects, how do we train these tools to represent our ideas? How do we train them to represent or output images that respond to the needs and requirements of the project? Yes, we must push design boundaries, but remember that AI is only trained on past human creations. In an imaginative use of generative AI, this architect uses a tool like Midjourney to create images with a lot of materiality. He's then able to extract these materials to create an evocative mood board for the project. Another example of the same. So generative AI is very good at the concept stages when we are not trying to define the dimensions of a building, but it's more of an abstract idea. In another example, these architects wanted to use a different model for inspiration. They realized that a lot of client meetings are now held online, and there was little requirement to present a physical model in an online meeting. So they used the physical model as an inspiration to create this render for a mixed-use building, showing its surroundings. But if we step back from this process to see the physical model, this is the physical model without its surroundings. And if we step back one step further, we see the original physical model, just a Lego tower. So AI can be fun too. Let's take a look at knowledge sharing, another area where there is huge potential for AI in the immediate future. All of you would be familiar with ChatGPT. You would have played with ChatGPT, queried and asked your questions. ChatGPT is a little bit like a Google search, but more advanced. Unlike Google search, it can collate information from the web. It can answer your queries. It can add to the queries, much like a natural conversation. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence bot trained on natural language processing so that it can answer and understand text in human-like language. But an interesting variation of ChatGPT is a custom GPT. Imagine the custom GPT as a tailor-made version of ChatGPT or a personalized version which is trained on specific knowledge in a specific domain so that it can answer your questions in your domain, in your specific domain. I tested a ChatGPT by Jaydev Sharma on the National Building Code. I asked it the question, what is my travel distance for a high-rise building? Now you notice here I did not mention specifically regarding fire safety, but the custom GPT is able to pull out the answer saying that for most building types, I can travel at the most 45 meters for a sprinkler protected building and 30 meters for a non-sprinkler protected building. In an often cited follow-up question, I asked it if this travel distance is measured as a radius or along the path of travel. And it was able to come back with the answer that I should measure the travel distance along the center line of the path of travel. Now, I see a huge potential for custom GPTs in the immediate future. Maybe an organization such as TREDI could use this to create custom GPTs, not just for the National Building Code of India, but for the DCRs or the development control rules for all metros, tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. Imagine the power of a tool such as this in the hands of architects, developers, designers, liaison teams, even the municipalities. So would once again request the folks at TREDI to look into this in the near future. Often in the design process, we are faced with certain repetitive tasks. AI can do these tasks faster. In the design of this facade screen for a villa in a hotel project, we wanted to explore different design options using different materials. A bamboo screen here, a masonry wall here, a combination of a masonry wall and a bamboo screen, or maybe even a laterite block jali. AI was able to generate hundreds of options for us in a fraction of the time. So we believe in the future, AI should be able to help us complete projects quicker than the time it currently takes us. Tools for visualization are best suited for AI currently. Unlike the tools for ideation that we saw earlier, the visualization tools give us a lot more control. As architects, we often have strong ideas to build our buildings, and we need visualization tools to render and communicate our ideas. In an ideal AI workflow, I should be able to move from a sketch to a 3D model to a render. But that is not possible as yet because, as we said, AI is trained on 2D images and it produces 2D images. But if I was to start my visualization process with a sketch, which is often the first move in a design process, the sketch already captures the essence of the project and it gives us a controlled output or a controlled render, which is very helpful at the concept stage of the project. Another example of moving from a sketch to an idea for an apartment block here. In another example of moving from sketch to render, when master planning this resort project in Visakhapatnam, we wanted to test the massing of the public blocks. Now the site has a lot of water channels which are activated during the monsoon. We wanted these public blocks to hover lightly over the water channels. So we created this sketch which allowed us to capture the terrain and the contours, the public blocks, the water channels, and even the cascading swimming pools. But this sketch was based on a physical model. We see here the sketch overlaid for the physical model that helped us to understand the levels of this complex site. And the physical model was built with just Jenga blocks, a little bit like the Lego tower that we saw in the previous examples. So we said, let's take this image of the Jenga blocks and put it into the AI workflow that we now use as compared to the sketch workflow that we showed you previously. So we took this tool into Midjourney, took the image into Midjourney, and we gave it the prompt, imagine a contemporary seaside resort on a gently sloping site. But you can see Midjourney is unable to understand the model. It is unable to understand that the Jenga block represents physical buildings and contours. Instead, it just puts the Jenga blocks in the foreground of the image. But again, with a little bit of training and by uploading our previous sketch that we had worked on, we are able to get an output from Midjourney that shows now buildings, contour, terrain, even a swimming pool, not yet cascading. With further work on the image, we are finally able to create a photorealistic render of the initial idea. It doesn't capture all the details, but it gives a sense of the buildings, the terrain, the ocean in the background, the swimming pool. Now, which of these two images do you think better represents the initial project, the sketch or the photorealistic render? Something that we think is still up for debate. Controlled visualization. Now, to retain the maximum control over the end product, we could work with something like a SketchUp model, which means that the design is at a slightly more advanced stage, and certain form-related decisions have already been taken. In this project that we are developing a waterfront property in Navi Mumbai, exactly across the gateway of India, it's a mixed-use project with a hotel, with branded residences and some apartments. So we created the SketchUp file and we took it into a software such as Chrome AI, and we were able to generate these outputs for a design presentation. Now you will notice here that the use case scenario has shifted from a concept presentation to a detailed design presentation, because our design team was now confident that we will be able to produce renders that are close to the building that we want to build. In this outline render, we can see the hotel block in the background and the two apartment blocks in the front. And we are able to capture details such as the green terraces that we had planned for the apartment blocks. So our design team took all the SketchUp views and they marked up their comments with their design intent and their lighting intent, which helped us to then generate views such as this. So the design notes guided the render process so that we were able to tailor-make our renders for this project. So this is not just a random generation on AI. In this image, we see the entry to the hotel with the rooms stepping back, a sense of the landscape, the interiors of the lobby, and the view of the ocean beyond. Another view of the pool overlooking the ocean, and the resulting render with the step terraces. All rooms have great views of the sea. But renders like this take some time. It is not generated at the press of a button. There is a fair amount of back and forth that happens between the SketchUp view and the AI view. Because AI does not really understand our design intent instantly. In this interesting example, our design team wanted to put a celebrity such as Shah Rukh Khan in the foreground, drinking a cup of tea, with the hotel and the reflecting pool in the background, the ocean, and even the distant Mumbai skyline at the back. The resulting render, we were able to capture the rooms, the reflecting water pond, the ocean, and even the distant Mumbai skyline. But we were not able to get Shah Rukh Khan into this picture because AI tools that architects use are currently trained on buildings and landscape. So they're not very good with people. Like we also saw with the image with the dogs where they had superpowers. A view of the banquet entry and the resulting render, complete with the fire element in the foreground. A view of the banquet lawns, evening render of the same with the lighting in the landscape and interiors. And finally, the residential entry and the resulting render. So AI was able to capture a fair degree of materiality in these projects. We can see the water body, the sculpture, the interior of the lobby, the floating clubhouse on top, and finally the apartment block beginning to rise on top. Overall, a fair effort using AI in a short span of time for an architectural design presentation. And as we can see, AI video tools are getting quite good too. This generated purely from the 2D image that we fed project software such as Runway ML. Now, quick recap of the tools that we saw so far. We saw in the beginning that generative AI tools can help break design boundaries with text-to-render softwares like Midjourney. They can help enhance knowledge with custom GPTs like the one we saw for the National Building Code. They could help us save time on repetitive tasks and overall help us complete projects quicker in the future. And lastly, we saw that they can help bring our ideas to life with controlled visualization. Soon, AI tools will be able to help us generate meaningful plans, master plans. They may be able to help us design hilly roads and hilly terrains, or help us in sustainability, or various other construction scenarios. But what does the future have in store for AI in the construction industry? In the early 2000s, Kodak took Nikon's digital SLR cameras, or rather SLR cameras, and married them to a digital body at the bottom. These were one of the world's first digital SLR cameras, a revolution that kept the film world behind. But Kodak was always afraid to innovate because they felt that they would cannibalize their own film business. I too was a non-believer in the digital camera, never imagining that it would get better than a film camera. But Kodak's failure teaches us to embrace innovation rather than fear it. And AI is that leap that we must take in architecture. In the future, tools like Midjourney will be able to understand three-dimensionality. Images that are currently output as 2D, maybe one day we'll be able to output different views of the same building, inside, outside, different lighting conditions, sections through the building. In short, Midjourney may be able to generate 3D models. In fact, tools are already headed in this direction. Fairly rudimentary at the moment, but they're getting better by the day. If we take a look at the short clip by Architectures, a tool that is launched recently, it already understands the site boundary. It can help generate simple apartment blocks within the site. You can then pick up the apartment blocks and change the layouts a little bit. You can work on the interior layouts. It can help with basement parking. And then it can convert all of this into a BIM model, which you can then use for climate studies or for cost analysis. It can further break this down into individual layouts, create your building plans. It can create 2D drawings. So this is the exciting and scary future of AI. One where man and machine can truly harmonize to create evocative structures. Very soon, we should be able to bring AI into our workflows like we brought CAD into our studios in the 90s. If we take a look at the Nobel Prizes for 2024, the Nobel Prize for Physics went to researchers for their work on neural networks, which is what powers today's AI revolution. A notable achievement indeed. But the Chemistry Nobel went to researchers who used AI for their discovery or prediction of protein structures that are critical to drug discovery. Now this begs the question, while AI accelerated their research, can AI itself win the Nobel Prize one day? Or the Architecture Pulitzer Prize? I think not, because for now, humans curate the process. While AI may accelerate the process, humans decide what's in and what's out. And it's for us to keep it that way, towards a hybrid future that's less artificial and more human. In closing, before we break for questions, if any, I would appreciate if any of you would like to share how you are using AI in your personal life or business, and that would be an interesting conversation to have as well. Thank you, and over to the moderators to guide any questions or audience experiences. Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions for this session? We can have 1 or 2 questions for the session. कोणाला काही प्रश्न विचारायचे असतील या सेशन बद्दल तर तुम्ही विचारू शकता. 1 किंवा 2 प्रश्न आपण इथे घेऊ शकतो. Anyone? Yes, I think all good. I would request you to be here. What an insightful and a wonderful session on AI. Can we all give a huge round of applause for Mr. Ajay Sethi, the MD, UrbanArc. Let us thank him on behalf of Maharashtra CREDAI, and to thank him, I would request Mr. Vikas Chaudhary, President, CSN, and Rohit Suryavanshi, Secretary of CREDAI CSN, to please come up on stage. Let us thank and felicitate Mr. Ajay Sethi, the MD for UrbanArc, for such a wonderful session on AI. And to thank him on behalf of CREDAI Maharashtra, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Vikas Chaudhary, the President, and Mr. Rohit Suryavanshi, Secretary, CREDAI Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Huge round of applause for Mr. Ajay. Truly an insightful session. I'm sure this is going to be very, very helpful to all of you present here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you on behalf of CREDAI Maharashtra. We now move on to the further panel discussion, and the topic is Bankruptcy to Opportunity, Navigating Challenges and Success in Real Estate through NCLT. The moderator of this session is CA Shwetaji Bhartia, the convener for CREDAI Maharashtra Women's Wing. But before I call her on stage, I would first like to call up on stage CA Neeraj G. Agrawal, who is the panelist for this session, as he is first going to present an AV before the session actually begins. With huge round of applause, let us all invite the panelist of this session, CA Neeraj Agrawal, Senior Partner, NPMG and Associates.